Now, with all the security on planes, it's almost impossible to get a peek inside the cockpit, but one Aussie pilot is opening the flight deck door and answering everything you have ever wanted to know about flying.
From what happens when you flush the loo, go down, to whether you really need to switch off your phone during the flight, nothing is off limits.
Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
Roger. Huh?
LA departure frequency 123.9er.
Roger. Huh?
This is what we imagine goes on in cockpits.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Come fly with me. But life as an airline pilot isn't nearly as dramatic. This is Brett Manders. He learned to fly in the year 2000 and is currently a pilot with Jetstar.
MCP V2 162 LNAV VNAV is armed.
After almost 2 decades in the cockpit, he's revealing what really goes on once your bags are stowed and your seatbelt is firmly fastened. His first book is called Behind the Flight Deck Door.
That is a before start checklist complete.
So what are the most common questions?
I want to know what his discount is on flights.
Is it always autopilot flying?
Can you get me there safely?
You have access to Facebook up there. Just do a status or something. Yeah, just check in the air.
How the heck they remember every single button?
Let's get all the goss now. Pilot and author Brett Manders joins us now. Brett, morning, welcome. So,
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Koshi. Thank you so much for having me.
that's a pleasure. We want to get through some common myths and mysteries in flight. First of all, as Koshi wants to know, what happens when you flush the toilet?
Okay, I can safely say there is no number ones or number twos that goes out into the atmosphere. All the waste goes into a tank held at the bottom or the rear of the aircraft, doesn't go overboard. There are some aircraft that have the wash basins do vent directly overboard in flight or on the ground. So when the ground staff or the pilots are doing a walk around underneath the aircraft, we're very careful of where those drains are, just in case someone's washing their hands or brushing their teeth.
Oh, I love that. Now, purpose of the brace position.
It's so unlikely that you would ever need to use this brace position, but it's been designed by ergonomic engineers to make sure that in the event that there was a non-normal landing, that you are protected and you wouldn't cop any flying debris around the cabin.
Okay. What is the safest seat on a plane?
Safest seat? Well, they'll all be really safe. There's no individual seat that's more safer than any other.
Can you open the door while flying?
Absolutely not. This is a really common question. If you imagine a football that's pumped up really, really hard and you're trying to press in, that's what you're trying to do. The doors to the aeroplane open in initially and then out. The pressurisation in an aeroplane adds hundreds of kilos of pressure on each square metre of a door. Humans are not strong enough to open the door.
No.
Because I'm scared of an idiot doing it.
You get scared of getting sucked up. Okay, where are we up to? This is terrible. What happens when someone dies during a flight?
This, again, is really, really rare. In my 10 years of being with an airline, I've heard of it happening once. The cabin crew are trained to use all discretion that they could. They would screen the deceased person from the other passengers and offer comfort and support to family travelling with them.
Yeah, and you don't get a discount. All right. No. Do mobile phones really interfere with flight? I'm big on this. I have some colleagues who ignore this, and I force them to turn their phone off because I fear of dying.
It's true.
Excellent, Koshi. Make sure you get stuck into them, because even in our before start checklist, we've got an item that makes sure we have to turn off our personal electronic devices as well.
So does that because it interferes with your radar or something, or just so people focus?
Sam, if you remember when mobile phones first came out and you'd be in your car and your speakers would crackle just before it rang, that's kind of the interference that they're talking about. Individually, probably not so much, but if everyone was doing it, would cause interference.
Thank you, Brett. I'll be quoting you every time we fly.
I apologise.
Can turbulence make a plane fall out of the sky?
Absolutely not. The turbulence, if you just relate turbulence as being bumpy air, all it is air with different temperatures or moving at different speeds and directions, and it's mixing. Pilots don't like turbulence any more than the passengers do, and we will try to avoid it. And aeroplanes are just over-engineered to be safe in the environment that they operate in.
Okay, Brett, we love it.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for writing this book, because these are all questions that we all ask all the time. You must have gotten sick of being asked them at barbecue, so you decided to write a book.
No, Sam, not at all. I'm hoping that when people buy this and read it, they'll come up to me with other questions and I can work on volume 2.
Good.
Excellent. All right, mate, thank you for that.
Now,
well done.
Brett's book is available right now, and we have all the details on how to buy a copy on our website. Thanks, Brett.
Very interesting.
I will turn my phone off when I sit next to you from now on.
Now, if you love shopping, you are in luck.